Picture this, you're in your driveway on a sunny Saturday, polishing the hood of your brand new Rolls-Royce Ghost like it's the only thing that matters in the world. When the click-clack of sensible heels turns into a full-on charge. No hello. No welcome to the neighborhood. Just pure, unfiltered HOA fury barreling straight at you. "Excuse me," she snapped, planting herself like a human speed bump right at the edge of my property. "Young man. You. With the car." I straightened up, microfiber cloth still in hand, and gave her my best polite smile. "Morning. Something I can help you with?" She crossed her arms so tight her pearl necklace looked like it was strangling her. Barbara Whitaker. I'd seen her name on the welcome packet, vice president of the Oakwood Estates Homeowners Association. The kind of woman who probably color-coded her spice rack and called it community standards. "You can start by telling me how a kid who looks fresh out of college is rolling around in a $400,000 car," she said, voice dripping with that fake sweet poison. "This isn't some flashy McMansion development, Mr. Hayes. This is Oakwood Estates. We have standards." I tilted my head, genuinely amused. "Bought it cash, ma'am. Startup exit last year. But I appreciate the concern." Her eyes narrowed into slits. I checked the directory. "You're 24. Single. No visible means of support that doesn't scream suspicious. People around here work hard for what they have. They don't just appear with toys like that." I laughed, short, sharp. The kind that lets someone know you're not playing. "Toys? Ma'am. This is a car. Parked in my driveway. Which, last I checked, is still mine." She jabbed a manicured finger toward the mailbox like it had personally offended her. "I saw the title when the post office forwarded your change of address. We're allowed to verify new residents. It's in the bylaws. Page 7. "Actually," I said, stepping just close enough to make her blink, "that's a direct violation of the Georgia HOA Privacy Statute. Section 44-3-231. Want me to pull it up on my phone? Or should I forward it to the State Oversight Board right now?" Her face did this little twitch, like a glitch in the Matrix. For half a second, the mask slipped. Then she recovered, all teeth and venom. "If that vehicle is still here next week, I'll have it towed for aesthetic disruption. Community decorum matters. Mr. Hayes. We voted on it last quarter." I just nodded. Slow and deliberate. "Cool. Then I guess you'll enjoy explaining that to the judge when I countersue for selective enforcement. Have a blessed day, Barbara." She spun on her heel and stormed off, muttering something about these entitled millennials loud enough for the whole cul-de-sac to hear. I went back to polishing. But inside, I was already building the file. That was day 4 in Oakwood Estates. By day 6, the first violation notice was taped to my door like a ransom note. Disruptive vehicle aesthetics. Failure to maintain neighborhood harmony. Real poetic stuff. I took a photo, filed it, and spent the next 3 nights doing what I do best, digging. See? When you're a network security guy who just sold an AI fraud detection platform for 8 figures, you learn how to read public records like they're bedtime stories. In Oakwood Estates HOA filings, they were a damn novel. I found it on night 2, Barbara's husband, Derek, landscaping consultant for Greenscape Pros. Funny how every single emergency grounds maintenance invoice from the past 18 months went straight to his LLC. Same P.O. box. Same suspiciously round numbers. And the best part? The Community Beautification Fund had ballooned 400% since Barbara took over as VP. I printed everything. Organized it like a hit list. Then I waited. The mandatory hearing was that Friday in the clubhouse, the one with the sad plastic ficus trees and the coffee that tasted like regret. Barbara sat at the head of the folding table like a queen on a throne made of expired bylaws. 3 other board members flanked her, all avoiding eye contact. I was the only item on the agenda. Mr. Hayes, she began. Voice syrupy and sharp. We're here to discuss your flagrant disregard for community standards. The Rolls-Royce is an eyesore. It lowers property values. It sends the wrong message to our children. I set my binder on the table with a soft thunk. Opened it to tab 1. Before we talk about my car, I said calmly. Let's talk about your husband's invoices. Invoice 4729. Dated March 12. $8,400 for soil amendment and mulching at the entrance monument. Except, there's no soil there. It's all concrete and those ugly fake boulders you guys installed last year. The woman to Barbara's left, a mousy type with reading glasses, leaned forward. Wait. I thought that was for the... It wasn't, I cut in. Flipping to the next page. And here's the fun part. Same week. Derek's company got paid $12,000 for holiday lighting installation. In April. For lights that were never put up. I drove by. Still no lights. Barbara's smile froze. This is not the time or place for... Oh. It's exactly the time, I said. Sliding the binder across the table. Page 14. $3,200 to consulting services from a company registered to your sister. Same address as her Etsy shop that sells those god-awful garden gnomes. Payment went through the day after the security cameras mysteriously went offline for 48 hours. The room got so quiet I could hear the fluorescent lights buzzing. Barbara stood up so fast her chair scraped like nails on a chalkboard. This is harassment. This hearing is about your violations. Not what? I asked. Standing to. Not the $147,000 in miscellaneous expenses that all trace back to the same 3 people in this room? Because I already sent this exact binder to the Fulton County DA's office yesterday. They're opening a case. And they're very interested in those altered meeting minutes from last year's election. Her face went the color of a bad sunburn. The other board members looked like they'd just been caught with their hands in the cookie jar. And the cookie jar was on fire. I picked up my binder. Oh. And one more thing. Your bylaws haven't been updated since 2011. Georgia passed HOA reform in 2018. You're running on ghost rules. Have fun explaining that at the next emergency meeting. I walked out. Didn't even look back. The next morning. My doorbell rang at 7:15. Not Barbara. It was Mrs. Delgado from 3 houses down. Holding a plate of empanadas and a folded piece of paper. I got this last year, she whispered. Like the walls had ears. Fine for excessive holiday decorations. I had 3 strings of lights. 3. My grandkids helped put them up. By noon, I had a stack of stories. Old Mr. Patterson with the American flag that got him cited for political signage. The single dad whose basketball hoop was visual clutter. People who'd been paying $300 a month dues for years while the swimming pool stayed closed for repairs that never happened. I didn't sleep that night. Instead, I made a newsletter. Simple. Black and white. No drama. Just facts. And screenshots. 80 copies. Slipped under doors at 3 a.m. Like a suburban ninja. By lunchtime the next day, the clubhouse parking lot looked like a block party nobody planned. 30 people. Then 50. Someone had printed my newsletter and was passing it around like contraband. Barbara showed up in her golf cart. Pearls gleaming. Smile locked in place. Folks, this is all a misunderstanding. Where's the money? Barb, someone yelled. It was Mrs. Delgado. Brave woman. Barbara tried the concerned neighbor act. I assure you, every dollar is accounted for. This is just a disgruntled new resident trying to. Disgruntled? I stepped out of the crowd, holding out my phone. County Auditor's Office just confirmed they're executing a search warrant. Your office. Your home. Your husband's shop. Today. The crowd went feral. Not angry feral. Hallelujah feral. Someone started slow clapping. Then it spread like wildfire. 2 sheriff's cruisers rolled in 10 minutes later. No lights. No drama. Just business. Barbara's smile finally cracked when the deputies asked her to step aside so they could secure the premises. I watched from the sidewalk as they carried out 3 boxes labeled HOA Financials, Confidential. One of the deputies caught my eye and gave me a nod. Kid, you just made our year. The neighborhood changed overnight. People started talking. Really talking. Not the fake how's the weather stuff. Real conversations on porches. Kids playing in the street again. Someone even put up a Black Lives Matter sign without getting a violation notice the next day. Barbara didn't show her face for a week. When she finally did, it was in handcuffs. Turns out the embezzlement was just the appetizer. The main course was the foreclosures. 7 families, quietly forced out over unpaid dues that somehow ballooned from $800 to $18,000 overnight. All the properties? Snapped up by a shell company registered to. You guessed it. Derek Whitaker's cousin. The FBI got involved. Federal. White-collar crimes unit. Turns out forging lien documents is a felony when you do it across state lines. At the emergency community meeting 2 weeks later, the remaining board members, those sad little yes men, voted to dissolve the entire HOA structure. New charter. Term limits. Public audits. The works. I sat in the back row. Same place I'd been the day Barbara tried to tow my car. Nobody cheered when my name got mentioned. They didn't need to. The fact that the Rolls-Royce was still sitting in my driveway, untouched, said everything. Months later, I was out front again, same microfiber cloth. Same car, when Mr. Patterson shuffled over with a 6-pack. You know, he said, cracking one open. When you first moved in, I thought you were just another rich kid showing off. I grinned. And now? Now? He clinked his bottle against mine. Now I think you're the best damn thing to happen to this neighborhood since they invented air conditioning. We stood there in the golden Georgia light, watching kids ride bikes past the spot where Barbara used to park her golf cart like she owned the street. The for sale sign in front of her old house had been up for months. Nobody wanted it. Turns out karma has great curb appeal. So yeah. That's the story of how one shiny Rolls-Royce and one very quiet 24-year-old took down the suburban mafia. Now here's the question I want you to sit with. Was Barbara Whitaker the villain? Or was she just the loudest symptom of a system that rewards busybodies with power and punishes anyone who dares to live differently? Because the real crime here wasn't the car. It was the fear. And for once, the fear lost.